What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Man2Man AU podcast out here in the Plains. I'm co-host Nick,
And I'm your co-host Jackson.
and today we have another special guest, former D1 athlete, South Alabama D-end, my brother, Brock Higdon.
Hey guys, what's up? Thanks for having me today. I'm excited to see what we got going on.
Yep, it's going to be an exciting podcast. I say that, but yesterday was very disappointing. Jackson, go ahead and talk about it.
I mean, we haven't come out firing on a single one of these games. We haven't been ready. It's taken all the way until halftime to even get into a competitive form. I mean, you're talking about three interceptions in the first half, and then you already switched quarterbacks. He's going to throw another one.
3 interceptions and a fumble.
Yeah,
too.
and a fumble. 3 of those turnovers came in the red zone. All right, so we were fighting. There was a chance for it, but we couldn't get it home. And at this point, I just need to find someone who can throw the ball. What do you think about it?
I mean, I don't know. Y'all heard me last week. I was very confident that we were going to come out with a win because it's Arkansas, and we always beat Arkansas. Very, very disappointed. I harped on this a couple weeks ago, and a couple weeks ago podcast that the product on the field, we just don't deserve to see that with the way that our fan base is, the amount of passion we have. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I mean,
point.
5
It's
home
ridiculous.
games was crucial to us. Coming out maybe 4-1. If we come out of 4-1,
We-
we have a good season.
We were
ahead
talking
of
about
us.
going 5-0 in the first 5 weeks.
Now we're talking about probably 2-2 coming out.
I mean,
I don't see
and
much.
That's questionable next week. Who knows?
next week we haven't played a ranked team yet, by the way.
Yeah.
So we play ranked team next week. It's going to be a rough road ahead. Do you have any thoughts on the Auburn game, Brock?
Yeah, it was not very fun to watch, but as a defensive guy myself, it was a fun game to watch, lots of turnovers, lots of, good defensive ball, but obviously we wanted Auburn to pull that one out, so not too happy about it, but
Some big hits that game.
yeah.
Very soft football.
What
very
happened? What happened with 25? What was his name again?
Broke his leg.
Champ Anthony, his leg apparently was actually like crooked. We saw people who actually saw it from the stands, and it was bent.
Yeah, and they just have a tough schedule coming up. I don't know how they're not going to win.
Yeah, we got Oklahoma next week, and then Georgia, and then Missouri, Alabama down the road. It's gonna be rough.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm gonna be honest. I don't see a path. I see a path for 7-5, but right now, if I had to predict, I say we don't make a bowl game. And
I mean, where's the path to 4 wins is the biggest problem. You're talking about UNL Monroe, maybe Vandy at this point.
I mean,
Diego's
Vandy looks good though. So
I mean, maybe Kentucky, maybe Texas A&M. Whenever your path to 4 to 6, 5 wins is questionable, that hurts. This early in the season.
And Hugh Freeze just fly out saying after the game, they asked him who's going to play next week, and he says, I have no clue. And him saying, we got to find people that don't fumble the ball and don't throw it to the other team. Not a good look. It might have been out of context a little bit, but you can't say that.
Yeah.
Well, I will say one thing about Auburn football, you can't count them out ever. We'll probably go 2 games. Iron Ball comes around, it's going to be a game all the way to the fourth quarter at the very end.
Oh yeah. I don't disagree with that.
I remember
being an Auburn fan, it is it's kind of fun because you don't know what you're going to get every week. If you're an Alabama fan, you kind of have expectations, but for Auburn fans, it's a new season every week.
Yeah, that's so true.
Which I don't know if I like that much, but I was born into it. Can't get away from it. Do you have any other? I mean, we can keep on rambling about Auburn, about how we're bad. We're a bad football team. I don't know if we're gonna win many more games. And it sucks. I don't like giving up this early in the season. I'm not giving up, but I don't really have a lot of hope. You're still clinging on to a little bit of it.
I've got the only thing that gives me a little bit of hope. All right, is it's 7-0 at both of these halftimes. Both these games that we lost, where we have an insane amount of turnovers, an insane amount of stupid penalties, just literally shooting ourselves in the foot. All right, and then it's still 7-0 at halftime, and even at the end, we're down 10 points, 7 points, whatever it is. There's still a lot of fight in this team, despite the crucial mistakes we've made. So if we are able to clean up, 3 of those turnovers don't happen in those 2 games, we could be 4-0 right now. And so that's why I've got a touch of hope. I've seen Auburn randomly turn around and suddenly look like an Auburn-bred team. We saw it with Cadillac. It was all of a sudden the team's mindset changed, and we decided we're going to push you around on the ball. I watched Alex Orji throw 7 balls, complete 5 of them for 30 yards, and beat USC.
Yep.
So there is a pathway without a star quarterback, especially with Jarquez back there, and that involves shoring up the O-line. But it's going to take a whole lot of work, and we don't have a lot of time because now is whenever we get into the nitty-gritty.
Also, one thing I want to highlight before we leave, before we talk about other games, the refs. Oh my God, I don't like saying that the refs. Like I hate blaming the refs on it because you usually lose because you lost.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, though.
I mean, refs.
In my opinion, some terrible
refs are going to make mistakes.
Terrible calls.
Whenever you're talking about changing the outcome of a game, that's whenever it gets really bad.
Were you watching it? That touchdown was not a touchdown at the end. In my opinion.
No. On TV you can see it clearly. I don't know.
It was clear.
It was close.
But the problem is, it's. I understand not having evidence with those recordings, but you need to fix the call that you make on the field. It's not about whether or not you have enough evidence. Don't call it wrong in the first place to where you can't overrule yourself.
Yeah, that ball crossed the line for sure.
Oh, you just said 2 seconds ago that it was obvious.
Oh, no, I was thinking about. Yeah, I remember seeing it, and I was like, "Yeah, that they're gonna call."
It was not for sure. Look, I got a lot of passion, and it's whenever you're at the game, it's hard to see stuff clearly. But I think that it didn't, and I also think that I don't know if the offsides that we didn't get a free play from. That's just because it was encroachment, but whatever. That's bullcrap in my opinion. But I was really mad at the refs. Once you take a step back, you realize they didn't do as bad as I thought. There were some calls where they just couldn't overturn. They didn't have enough evidence.
We just suck.
And there's a lot of passion in it. When it happens, first of all, and the whole stadium is booing, and you want to be like, yeah, it's terrible refs. But still, I don't think they had a good game. Doesn't matter. We would have lost anyway.
Quarterback has a lot of potential, I think.
Who?
Arkansas's quarterback.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's an insane athlete.
Yeah,
talking about extend plays.
He throws picks though. That's one thing. He's been throwing picks all season, but he can.
I'm not going to forget him. Running around, broken down pocket, 3 guys chasing after him, and throwing Dada on top of Keontae's.
I got a 4th and 31.
I knew it, bro.
Flashback from that. I got Jalen Murrow flashbacks from that.
Yeah.
Do y'all have anything else on the Auburn game?
Nope.
Just okay. Illinois goes into Nebraska and takes down Nebraska. Great game all the way through. It went to overtime, right? It was a Friday night game. We both picked Nebraska. We had a bad week, record-wise. We both picked Nebraska. Illinois is looking pretty decent. Their defense looks really strong, and they got a big game coming up this weekend. So,
I mean, yeah, it was a battle of defenses, and that's what we knew going into it is going to be which quarterback can take the extra step. And Dylan missed a crucial ball at the end, and that could have been the answer, but Illinois is looking more scary than I thought they would be, but I'm not dropping any stock in this Nebraska team. They're going to stay true and strong to how they play. That's a hard-nosed football club, and keep an eye on them till the end.
Got anything to say about the Illinois? Did you watch it?
I didn't even know they were playing, to be honest.
All right. Florida State gets their first win of the season.
Of course, whenever we sweep the picks against them.
No.
Yeah, the first 3 weeks we picked Florida State to win, and we're like, all right, we can't pick them because they went 0-3. We can't pick them for the 4th time, and we picked Cal, and of course they lose. Michigan, like you were saying earlier, takes down USC under an insane rushing attack. USC's defense still not it for me. I mean, it's better for sure, but you can't get pounded on the run like that.
Well, I mean, there's there was a pathway for them to win. We talked about it. It was they had to play with the lead and they have to be able to control the time. And they did that. And it's Michigan. And sometimes Michigan is just Michigan and they're hard nosed. And you come to the point where you just can't get the ball back with enough time and you just don't have enough possession to take it over. So I've still got a little stock left in USC. I think they can.
Oh yeah. I think they'll be pretty decent. Missouri almost goes down to Vandy. This game almost went to overtime. Oh no, it did go to overtime. My bad.
Two overtimes.
Yeah, and Vandy missed a easy kick to take a third overtime. Maybe not as good as we thought, Missouri. Maybe Vandy's better.
And which is scary. Scary because that's one of those toss-up games for Auburn.
Vandy should not be a toss-up game. Yeah. Vandy should be an automatic win.
I got a buddy at Missouri, so shout out Khalil. He's there.
All right, and we got to head to Missouri in a couple weeks, so that's gonna be rough. Tennessee controls Oklahoma they just show that they're the better team. They won 25-15, but the score does not say it.
Welcome to the SEC, brother.
That's a good way to put it. I think Tennessee, hot take, is arguably the best team in the country right now with their resume.
I think I will.
So I don't know if y'all disagree with that. I mean, you put Texas number 1 right now or Georgia. I think it's Texas, Georgia, Tennessee, Ohio State. That's what I ought to do, but it's close.
Yeah, I mean, we've got to see a better competitive matchup with Ohio State before I can put much stock in that team because they struggled a little bit. There was a little bit of struggle in the start, but then they pulled it together.
How about JMU?
Yeah,
putting up 70 on UNC. What happened there?
Sun Belt, baby. That's what happened.
The Sun Belt popping off. So what's going on with UNC? The same old UNC. Mac Brown doesn't have a defense.
He almost didn't make it off the field, man. I mean, that man almost just died right there, and now he would call it quits.
I'm pretty sure it's 53-21 at halftime. So
James Madison too. This is their second or third year now in
second year, I think.
I think they're year 2. I don't even think they can go and win a Sun Belt conference yet because they're still in that probationary period. But
still, I thought it was only one.
I think they're going to be a contender for the Sun Belt every year. I played.
Are they eligible for the playoff because they could get the Group 5 bid?
I don't know. I could be wrong about the probationary period too because I remember last year was kind of a big deal. They were in contention for it, but they're good. They're a good team. I remember playing them. Really cool stadium too. So shout out to the Fun Belt. That's where we're at.
Did you only play them once?
Only got to play them once because they were my last year. They just joined FBS or whatever we call it now, Division
One. Can't remember.
Who won against me and JMU?
Yeah.
JMU. It was 7-10. They won. I think 7-10, maybe 7-12. It was a close game. It was a defensive game. That was a heartbreaker. That game we were also something with the buses, or we got to the hotel late or something. I don't know. So everyone was saying we're tired, but I don't know. Fun atmosphere to play in. I think they'll be a good program.
All right. Well, we're going to head into week 5 in a second. Before we're going to ask some questions. Do you want an athlete? Like, why we have you here? We're going to get some questions out of you. So my first question is just in general, and this is a 2-parter, in season and out of season. What does a day-to-day look like for you? Like in a week of college football, preparing for games, classes, all that stuff. What does it look like? Give me a short one.
Okay, yeah. So I was in college for 5 years. We had 2 different coaching staff, so it really just depends on what that coaching staff wants to do. My first 2 years with Steve Campbell, we were an afternoon practice team, so all our classes were in the morning time. And then vice versa with Womack, we were practicing in the morning and classes were in the evening. So it just really depends. It's whatever the coaches want, and then the school kind of just follows in with, hey, we need to have our football players this time. So I guess I'll start with Saturday. Whatever game you in, you get home, you don't think about it, you have a good time, hang out with your buddies. Sunday starts it out strong. We're going out there for meetings. Sunday's normally that recovery day, get in the hot tub, get in the cold tub, make sure you get all your feet back under you. Monday is also another chill day. I think maybe we would get a light lift in, and then we would do more meetings and maybe a walkthrough. I can't remember. Yeah, I think it was a walkthrough. Like, no, we didn't have pads. Maybe just helmets or something. I don't know. It's been a while. I guess not. Tuesday though. Tuesday was our rough them up day. We were putting pads. If it's not full pads, we're hitting real hard. Wednesday takes it off you a little bit, and then Thursday normally that helmets practice. Friday's just no pads at all, and then Saturday's game day. But yeah, it is normally in a practice, from where I've had experience, you're getting there 2 hours at least before practice, before meetings, really. So the past 3 years, 5 a.m. was kind of our wake up call. You had to be up there between 5:30 and 7:15 was our window to get ready. We had to get taped, we had to get dressed, we had to eat breakfast, and we had to weigh in all before our meetings. And we had position meetings that would last for about an hour, and then jump into a special teams meeting, which will last 15, and then a big team meeting right before practice, about 5 or 10 minutes, get the guys ready to go, and then you're on the field at 11, or you're on the field at 8:30, and off the field 11:30, 12. So, and then that was fun. It was a good time. I will say, my last year and a half, I was all online. So I got home, probably took a nap, and did all my schoolwork, and then well, we would have to come back up for meetings too. So especially during that, we would do a lot of meetings. I feel like we met so much. You don't understand how much we meet. At least 2 hours a day, an hour in the morning and then an hour at night. So then off season, that changes a little bit. I would say you get a good coach, good strength coach who has a good program. We would do Monday, Tuesday, maybe a light Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday, hitting it hard. Saturday and Sundays, all us off. We're off for the off season because of the stress that in season schedule provides you. So, I mean, it was a good time. We were like, if we were a morning practice team, we're working out in the morning. So yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. Did I answer the off season?
Yeah, that's a good answer. Give me
So coming at you with number 2, what are some things that you think that you would have done differently? What are some things that you think that you would have kept the same? I would have done this no matter what. And then do you have any like regrets from over those 5 years?
Well, yeah, so I don't know if I have any regrets. Maybe I would say work a little harder, because you always can tell yourself, even if you're in the gym or at all, you can go do a little bit more. After a workout, maybe you see it as like, oh, I could have done more. As it was going, maybe you're like, dang, this sucks, whatever. But
yeah.
I guess that's everyone's biggest regret, maybe, is like, wow, I probably could have pushed myself a little bit harder. But I wouldn't change. I had another year of eligibility to play, a 6th year, but I just knew that was my time. So I hung it up, and maybe I'll regret it in a couple of years, I guess. Ask me again in about 5 years. I wouldn't change a thing, really, because I met some great guys, and we've had some really good stories and laughs, and still best friends with some of the guys today.
Tell me about that Oklahoma State game back in 2023. What was it, 33-7?
Yeah, that sounds about right. 33-7. Yeah, that was a
infamous.
That was awesome.
Just tell me about everything about that. Like, how awesome was that environment? Well, I guess y'all drowned it out towards the end, but just talk about that.
Well, Oklahoma State, they're infamously the paddles that they bang on the side.
Yeah.
So that was really cool when we were walking out. The fans were really nice, honestly. They kind of just talked to us the whole time and on the sideline. But I do remember it was in September and it was like 100 degrees in Alabama, but we went up to Oklahoma, it was like 60. So it was like perfect. Wow. Weather was great. There was like not a cloud in the sky. and then 60,000 fans strong, and it came in there like at least an hour before kickoff. So I was like, wow, we were in Big 12 football.
Yeah.
It was cool, and I remember running out of the tunnel, and they were banging the thing, and they were all like, booing, and that just fires you up. So, and we all kind of knew too, like we were watching film, and this is kind of this where we're gonna hit them. This was their weak spot. So, on that stat sheet too, that was probably one of my best games. Although one of those sacks that were given to me was actually kind of a gimme sack, really, because I just touched them last. But yeah, I recorded 2 sacks, a tackle for loss, and either 1 or 2 tackles in that game, and that was really fun. I remember getting that first sack, and I threw up the gun, blew him out, put it in the pocket. That was really fun coming out. And I mean, that was probably one of the most funs I've had on a sideline ever. It was cool because the sideline was really shrunk, and like you were here, and then it was like the fans are right behind you, and so you could interact with them, and then obviously you're tight knit with all your group, and you're like, wow, this is pretty legit. But it is fun to get a 60,000 stadium down to about 10 in a 3 quarters or so. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
that was something I'll always remember. I sacked Mike Gundy's son. After I sacked him, they brought him back in, and then they booed him. And then after like the whole stadium booed their quarterback, they put Bowman in. I think that's who the guy is now over there.
Yeah.
So yeah, really fun. That's probably a top 3 game for me. And another one is Tennessee when we went up to play them. We got our ass kicked, but I don't know if I can say that. But
Yeah, you can say that.
60, whatever. They scored 60 on us, and I had Rocky Top stuck in my head for about 2 weeks after that. So.
That's funny.
So I know this isn't my question, but you said those fans were somewhat nice. What's like the most like toxic environment that you've been in? Would you say it's Tennessee?
I remember. All right, so Tennessee's it's different because Tennessee's sideline is way bigger than Oklahoma State, so we're kind of not right on top of the fans. I remember having some interactions with Tennessee fans, but honestly, I think there's a group of 5 school coming in. They're like, we're not really.
Yeah.
Now maybe because it's a rivalry, but Troy, that was a game. Every time I had to go up to Troy, I knew that we were getting spit on, we were getting cussed at. And my last time going up to Troy last year, I got a full natty light thrown on me. So for the rest of the game, I just that's probably just a toxic one, just because it was a rivalry game, and I mean, we leave every year. We're like, dang, we know Troy's good, or every year. So like when we have to go up there, we know we got to be on our P's and Q's and everything else. I mean, Georgia Southern, they kind of have a tough fan base to play against. I went to App State one time, and that was probably another one because they have their students like right where we walk out, and they're spitting, they're cussing, they're trying to get in your head. But App State and Troy definitely top ones for toxic and fun. No, I love when a little 18-year-old 120-pounders yelling in my face like,
And Dad said he almost got in a fight at that.
Yeah, Dad, he was standing at the gate when we were coming in after we lost, and we turned around and started talking to one of the frat boys, and I don't know what happened, but he was saying he was pissed. He was like, "I'm never going back to App State." That was fun though. App State was a good one. I definitely like it motivates you to get yelled at a lot. It's fun. Texas State, no, not really. Texas State was a good one. They were all right. I'm trying to think of anyone else. Southern Miss is kind of getting there now. Southern Miss is kind of trying to be your free meeting will end in 10 minutes. Oh, that's not good. Anyway, yeah, that's it. I don't know if we have 10 minutes left, guys, so we'll have to see.
Oh, no.
Well, it's okay. This will just be a 10-minute Brock segment. That'll be it.
There you go. All right, cool. Well, we can get going or whatever. If you have another question, and then we can figure out what that's gonna do.
All right, you can ask the last.
Yeah.
one.
All right. So last question. I know whenever we watch, especially away games, whenever we watch away games, we get pretty superstitious. Like if Auburn's playing a certain like bad way, we'll turn the table upside down. We'll take shirts off. We'll do whatever it takes. Before a game, is there any specific rituals or superstitions that you have to get yourself ready?
I used to be like that. My first 2 years, it was like right sock, right shoe, left shoe, and then just the typical get your shirt and stretching routine in. But as the years went on, I stopped doing that, and we started winning more. So I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that anymore. So I'm not superstitious, but I'm a little stitious, because it's fun. Yeah, so not for real. I would always have a stretching routine that I would do, but I don't really correlate that with performing well. And